artist, here is Miss Dolores. Today I want to explore a little bit more watercolor. I made a video about the basics of watercolor, so if you haven't watched that video, I recommend you to watch that video before you watch this one. I thought we can make a watercolor about space exploration. You know, astronauts, spaceships, or planets, stars. Let me show you an artist who did just that. Esther Watson is an artist from Texas. She imagines spaceships as part of our life. Like we dream about spaceships and build them to go to space. Look at her skies, full of planets and stars shimmering above the farms, the animals, the roads. And look at the spaceships. Some have a simple shape. Oh, this one is so nice. She adds lines and dots to make them look like an engine, a machine. I've been sketching and writing some ideas for my watercolor about space traveling. Here is a sketch. I will draw this idea on my watercolor paper now. I can use different tools to draw. A pencil, a pen, whatever you use, make sure it has a permanent ink. That's important because we will paint over the lines. A washable marker will not work. The lines will get smeared, blurry, and disappear with the water. I am going to use a fine point permanent marker. But if you don't have one, a pencil will work fine. In fact, that's what I use in my watercolors. I copy the main lines of my sketch. In this particular case, it doesn't need to be exact. I can improvise too and change my original idea if I want to. This is one way to create a watercolor, by drawing the outlines before painting. Sometimes I add lines after I paint, and in some cases I don't draw lines at all. I directly paint. Okay, that's good. I have my colors. I can mix colors here. I have a sponge, which I will use to get my paper wet. Q-tips, my water, not too much water, an old rag, brushes. You can use different size brushes. This kind is like the sponge. It is good if you need to paint big areas. This one is very small, very useful when you have to do tiny details or lines. But I am going to use only the one that comes with my watercolor set to show you that it is possible to work with only this brush. I pour some drops of water on each color to get the paint soft and ready. For this technique I am using today, I get my entire paper wet before I use the colors. You can get it wet with the sponge, the brush, or the rag. The paper is really wet now. I add the color and I don't have to be that careful. The paint will travel through the wet paper and the colors will blend, mix, expand. I have fun with it. I make sure the paper stays wet while I am working. This is the wet on wet technique. The paper is wet and what I am adding is wet too. And it's lovely to see the colors change, travel, mix. And what I am thinking about is the universe, the sky. I leave the area of the spaceship pretty light because I will be adding layers of different colors and details next time. There are no precise edges or shapes. I think this technique is perfect to create the universe as the background. You know, I am thinking of May Jemison. Her story is an inspiration. She worked so hard to be an astronaut. Check her out if you have a chance. Now I will speed up the video. I don't work that fast, but this is a way to show you the whole process, keeping the video short. Next time we are going to finish our watercolor. It's nice to think about space traveling, isn't it? I imagine myself as an astronaut. Oh, an astronaut. Art is great that way. It's like a journey. And remember, I am